Hello again, Rebecca here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Brutus Monroe Inspiration Design Team layout. So today I really wanted to play with these Pumpkin Pals cutting dies. So I forgot my wire snips in the garage, so I do have to go grab those, but I'll do that later. So they come like so, and you can just do pumpkins or you can create the faces and the little arms and the little legs. I'm just going to do the pumpkins today and kind of make them a part of my background. I'm going to do these two photos. I'm going to trim them down. They are from Halloween of 2010. Me, my son, and my mom went to the family pumpkin farm. My family owned a pumpkin farm here where I live. And Sam ended up getting like 12 pumpkins. Perks of being family members, right? And then he spent the next like 3 or 4 hours at my mom's house before trick-or-treating, and he carved a whole bunch of pumpkins. So we do have this one and this one and this one, which it's this one and this one. He did carve his name in the back of this one, which I thought I printed that photo out, but apparently I didn't. But yeah, so this is from 2010, so this is 11 years ago, guys. And look how good he did. I mean, he was, what, 8 or 9? 9. No, he would have been 8 because he was born in December of 2001. Anyway, long story short, I am also going to be playing with Velveteen Glazes today. So I have the Velveteen Peach Bellini, the Velveteen Pumpkin Patch, and the Velveteen Fresh Kale. So I'm going to, because you have the back of the pumpkin and then the pumpkin lines. So I'm going to do the back of the pumpkin, like the pumpkin in Pumpkin Patch, and then the little ridges in the Peach Bellini. And then I am going to go ahead and cut out, or die cut out the little stemmies in the Fresh Kale. And just to create a very fun background, I'm going to pull in some Brutus Monroe chroma mist. So I've got the leaf green to match my Fresh Kale. I have the tangerine orange to match the pumpkin patch, and I have the yellow orange to go with the peach Bellini. And I'm going to go ahead and start that. I'll put you on fast forward and let's see what I can do. All right, so I'm going to dive right in and start getting the Velveteen Glaze applied to my, now this is thicker 8.5 by 11 cardstock from my stash, because I am going to apply somewhat of a thick mixed media background to that, not mixed media background, a thick layer, I should say, because I want it to be true to color. I didn't really want a thin layer, and I really didn't have an issue waiting for it to dry. It did take a few hours. I started this first thing in the morning, and I think it was 5 or 6 by the time it was dried, and I actually even at that point took my heat gun to it, to the areas that had the ridges. But now this, I absolutely love the end product of this, because when I do the die cutting, and because I've got the palette knife, which is leaving different indentations into the way that I'm applying the Velveteen Glaze, it really looks like natural shading on a pumpkin, you guys. I was super excited. So the first one was the Fresh Kale. The second that I applied was the Pumpkin Patch, and this one is the Peach Bellini Velveteen Glaze. I come in with just some Distress ink right here because I want to muddy up my edges. Really love doing that lately, so why not keep adding it to it? And that is just the black soot, and I do actually get it a little crazy in some areas, so then I have to go back and reapply to the sides that I didn't go as crazy. So we just get that all down. I'm going to clean up my mat. And I actually use my squeaky clean stamp cleaner to clean up my mixed media mat. Works like a champ, you guys. So dual purpose on that stuff, right? So now I'm going to come in and I'm just going to draw a big sketchy circle. Like, make it happen. And then I kind of add just a few extra darker lines in and around. And I put a lot of circles on there. And now I'm going to take the chroma mist to jazz up my background a little bit. And right there is the yellow orange. Then I'm going to come in with the tangerine orange. And I'm going to do this diagonal. And I love the way that the Brutus Monroe chroma mist do that line. Like when I splat it, I don't just get like little dots. I get like crazy mixed media lines and absolutely love this. So I just want it in the diagonal, and I'm going to keep spinning it so that I get it in the areas that I, am intending to get it for. Get that all down. I will put that to the side and let that dry. Right there, I didn't have any of the mist in that area. I did go ahead and do all my die cutting off screen, but to finish my thoughts, I just dabbed the end of the chroma mist nozzle straw onto it and gave myself a splatter where I needed it. Instead of cutting out, because I was lazy and I had already put all my dies up and forgot to cut the stem, I just go ahead and roughly fussy cut out some of these fresh kale stems, and we're going to apply those to the back of all of these fabulous pumpkins. Oh, B is wanting to say hello. I apologize if you hear my dog in the background. So what I did was I cut the pumpkin part of the Pumpkin Pals die sets out of the Pumpkin Patch Velveteen Glaze. How many times can we say pumpkin in a sentence? And then I took the outline of the pumpkin and die cut that out of the Peach Bellini Velveteen Glaze. Go ahead and stick on some of those stems, let those dry. My background is dry, so I did come in with some of the leaf green and just splattered just a bit because it matched the fresh kale Velveteen Glaze. I'm going to trim my photos down quite a bit because, I know I've scrapped these pictures or a sequence of these pictures before, so I don't want them to take up the whole page. I really want the pumpkins, but look how cool those pumpkins look. It really does look like the pumpkin is ripening in different areas. Love me some Velveteen Glaze. Yes, I do. So I just take some old Halloween pattern paper that I have in this green, I don't know what that is. What is it? Like a graph paper. I'm going to back my photos in that. I take a strip of the spiderweb paper. I'm going to fishtail banner each end of that and create a place for my photos to rest. And I'm going to center that right in the middle. Now, I didn't use any kind of primer for my page or anything like that. I didn't put any gesso on there. I just let it soak right in. I'm going to trim these two guys up so that they are neat and matted. And then I am going to kind of overlap them just a smidge. And I'm going to get them down. But first I'm let's pop this up on some foam because I am going to tuck the pumpkins in and around and just create right there on that horizontal strip. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut this down just ever so roughly. It works. Get the pictures popped up. And we're going to get those placed down on the page. I do put quite a bit of adhesive on the foam just to make sure it stays because this layout is so fabulous with these pumpkins that I don't want them to fall off. So here you go. See, I'm going to start tucking some things in and around and just stay on that horizontal strip. But I love the way these pumpkins look. If you guys have not picked up this die set yet, you must, because yes, you can create the cute little funny jack-o'-lanterns, or you can just have fall pumpkins. Very versatile. Yes. Now these smaller pumpkins, I am going to go ahead and pop up on some foam, but I do get them all down and around and just kind of bring them in so that they create cute little pumpkin clusters around my page. But I felt like they were kind of sitting out there in no man's land, so I do come in with some of these strips, and I will make sure that they have a shelf to sit on as well. Because this was on Halloween of that year, I do go ahead and put some of those embellishment stickers on. I just grab this green one, add a little extra adhesive, tear it, and I stick it down. And then I'm like, oh, probably shouldn't have wasted that much of it. But that's okay because I'm going to stick it in over here underneath each of the pumpkins. So now they have a little patch of green to sit on, right? And I get those in, and I totally love the way that this is looking. Going to bring in just a few more bits, and I am going to title this Trick or Treat. Because it was cute. Because he did go trick-or-treating an hour later. We had just spent all day at the pumpkin patch. He carved pumpkins until it was time to put on his costume and go get some candy. We always went with my mom. Now he's too old. I do pull in some stars just to, throw a little bit of extra embellishments, but that's pretty much going to do it for my layout. Like, absolutely love. I will have the affiliate links and the Brutus Monroe all links down if you want to pick up any of these fabulously fun items. Look how cool that is. Oh, and it's just perfect. So I will see you guys next time for another layout. Bye.